Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his cold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometimes declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines of time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. The ticking of all clocks, watches, and so is a melody of its own, a symphony for time's never-ending movement, till day and night. Time changes and time holds what things are for centuries and forth. Shakespeare is a known poet that's familiar with this topic by making it the meaning of his poem, Sonnet 18, and the verse it holds that is always used in the past times or not. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Shakespeare's work can be distinguished by the words that he uses in the poem. In this poem, he uses words like thou art, thee growest. I did not grasp the meaning till the Old English words were translated and the vocabulary was linked with what it holds meaning to until various points of the poem were linked. The poem holds a prideful mood. Shakespeare is so proud of what he's creating or describing that he is listing descriptions and how said thing will live forever. It doesn't provide any of simile words to compare said thing, yet the poet compares it to a summer's day. The usage of personification is evident in the poem due to the poet making nature have humane actions to prove his everlasting point, like the summer's lease, eye of heaven, and death brag. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? In the poem, it's assumed as comparing a person to the warm nature that's welcomed to damp and cold England. These nature factors contribute to symbolizing an eternal summer, because summer is warm and bright and the poet lives in cold wet England, so the significance of a change in the cold weather to a warm day is striking and pleasing, and usually wished to be so eternal that it was used to show his point of greatness and that this poem will never, or this person will never, stop in time. The poem holds different directions in what is being compared. It's assumed to be about the poem itself regarding the line, when in eternal lines to time thou growest, or a person loved so dearly that forever they will live in said poem. Overall, it shows the theme of the ability of something so great to abide. I feel as though the poet feels pride and love towards the subject. Assuming it's the poet feels that it is so magnificent it shall last as long as man can live. If the poem is about a person, Shakespeare has so much love to the person that they wrote them in the poem, and so they will live forever in the lines of the sonnet. Although on first read the poem is usually regarded about a person living among the lines of the poem, yet it is actually about the poem itself. The insistence of this assured long-lived pride makes Shakespeare an egotistical person, who is very sure that his creation will stay forever. The poem at first was found lovely, the words picked were appealing, and the meaning struck me as love. But after learning the actual meaning, I found it selfish and feeble. If it was published in current times, it would probably be taken as a joke, and it won't have any relevance for its manipulative meaning because of Shakespeare's over-exaggerated opinion on his poem. Nonetheless, if there is a lesson to learn by the existence of this poem, is that it inspires readers to be proud of their work, but hopefully not too proud to the point of making a poem of it solely for it, destroying its worth and meaning.